set up the camera for taking pictures of sports, you can use the appropriate scene mode, or for more control over the camera functions, I recommend using the shutter priority mode instead. You'll want to turn the flash off, set the continuous shooting drive mode. You may want to set the burst mode, and as always, you'll want to set the appropriate white balance. Let's start by setting the scene mode. Turn the mode dial to SCN. In the back, use the camera's navigation buttons to move the highlighted field to Sports. Then press Set. Now the camera should be optimized for a sports scene. You can place the focusing brackets over the subject, press the shutter button halfway to lock focus, recompose, and press the shutter button the rest of the way to take the picture. You'll notice the flash is set to auto, which in some cases, if there isn't enough light, the camera will use the flash. However, usually with sports scenes, you don't want to use the flash because the subject is so far away, the flash won't do anything. So I recommend pressing the flash button and turning the flash off, then press Set. You can also change the autofocus mode as well as the burst function by pressing the Quick Menu button right here. The Quick Menu button will access the Quick Menu, and you can use the navigation buttons to move around. Choose the autofocus mode and go down to select autofocus tracking. This might help with fast-moving targets. Move over one more to the burst shooting function and go down to activate this function. Then go ahead and press Set. Now with the autofocus tracking and the burst function set, I can place the brackets over my subject and press the down navigation button to lock the focusing brackets to my subject. Once the focusing brackets have turned yellow, I know that now as long as the subject moves, the camera will continuously track that subject. Now I compose the picture first and focus later. So with the picture composed the way I want it, I'll press the shutter button halfway to lock focus. With the shutter button pressed halfway and the focus locked, the brackets will no longer track the subject. So you need to focus and take the picture pretty quickly. Once the focus is locked, press the shutter button the rest of the way down to start taking the pictures. The camera will take 3 pictures consecutively before stopping. For more control over the camera's shutter speed, I recommend using the shutter priority mode instead. Turn the mode dial to S. The shutter priority mode allows you to set the shutter speed you want to use for the picture, and the camera will set the appropriate aperture. The shutter speed is displayed right down here. Press the exposure button to highlight the shutter speed value. Now use the up and down navigation buttons to adjust this setting. You want to set a pretty fast shutter speed. I recommend starting at least 250th of a second. With the shutter speed set, go ahead and press the exposure button again. Now with this mode also, if you're not using the burst function, you'll need to force the flash off. With the burst function activated, the flash is forced off by itself. To set the burst function, press the Quick Menu button right here. Use the navigation buttons to access the burst function right here, and then either turn it off or turn it on, whichever you decide. I'll turn mine off for this demonstration. Then press Set. Now I need to force the flash off. Press the flash button and go down to Forced Flash Off. Then press Set. Again, if you're using the burst function, you won't need to turn the flash off because the camera will do so automatically. Now let's go ahead and set the appropriate white balance. Press the Quick Menu button to access the Quick Menu and use the navigation buttons to highlight the white balance function. Now use the up and down navigation buttons to select the proper white balance. I'll choose the daylight white balance option for this demonstration. In your case, if it's a cloudy day, choose cloudy, or if it's in the shade and you want to warm up the tones in the image a bit, choose shade. More than likely your sports scene will not be illuminated using incandescent lights, so you won't have to worry about that. However, if it is a night game, incandescent might be the right white balance setting. When you have the appropriate white balance selected, go ahead and press the Set button to escape. Now you're ready to take your picture. Place the focusing brackets over the subject and press the shutter button halfway. When the focus is locked, you can recompose the image the way you want it in the screen. Keep following the action with the image composed the way you want it in the screen until you're ready to take the picture. When you're ready, press the shutter button the rest of the way to instantly capture the image.